Steve, I think for these clips we can maybe just put the lights off. Okay. So I think that's going to look better. This first clip, just look for me, or let me first start right at the beginning. Again, I want to emphasize the clips that I show you is only for learning purposes, okay, and demonstration purposes. So again, I don't target any teams. But the first clip, just look for me at the hooker and the space in the line out, and tell me what you see. Picked up anything? Refs? I'll play it again. Look at the gap and look at the hooker throwing in. What will you do if you're AR and you sit with that scenario? What did you pick up there? Throwing hooker? Check. Check again. Ah. Well, I'm gonna anticipate what you see, okay? Especially in short line outs, okay? Not just in short line outs, but especially in short line outs, more for the referees, okay? A lot of teams will moan about the gap, okay? So they moan about the gap, and then their hooker moves off the mark, and then they throw the ball in straight, but the ball, if he throws it in straight, is on the inside shoulder of his players. So the gap is big, the hooker moves, he's on the inside shoulder, he throws on the inside shoulder of these guys, and these guys must contest like that, so it's impossible to get that ball, okay? Check again. Ah, for a sec. Kak. What the hell? I'm normally spoiled with a Look again? Yeah. Okay, maybe can you help me here? Like I say, I'm spoiled with video analysts. They normally cut all the stuff, and if you can maybe just can you do it for me? And then I can stand back a little bit and speak to them. See the hooker? He moves away and then he throws on the inside shoulder. Well, I'm going to show you more examples of that, okay? Just the next clip. First tell me what you see. First tell me what you see. You should tell your point. Okay, that was a down and out to a hooker coming around, wanted to play the loose forwards, the one that I spoke about earlier. But what did you pick up there?
There's no receiver. The receiver went into the line.
Is he allowed to go in? Because he's not allowed, he must be 2 meters away. That's what the law says, he must be 2 meters away, and he can only come in once the line out starts, and that's when the ball leaves the hooker's hands. Let's look at it again, and you tell me if it's right. And guys, it happens in the northern hemisphere as well, okay? It's not in the southern hemisphere. But the thing is, you as a referee, can you pick it up? You see, you think is, yeah, okay. But just again, just go next clip, it's fine. Next clip. Let's have a look. So play it again. What do you see there? Your point. Is it? Is that what you meant? It's all back to the same systems, but they must just, that's why I say, they must decide what it must be. Because it's not a case of the referees, was Stapper said the other day, you know, we can count. It's just free, the referees can count. It's only 4 guys plus 1 in the line out. So it's not difficult to count. And you tell me, just play it again. Is the guy only start moving once the ball leaves the hooker's hands? Or is he in the line already before it leaves the hooker's hands?
They could argue that 4 drop back, but not far enough. They could argue that.
You can see the jumper in the line now before the ball is in the line.
Yeah.
It's like a walk-in.
So,
But it can.
No, it counts.
It's like a walk-in.
We've been told that the ball must leave the hooker's hand before he enters the line.
Into it.
But all participating players can move positions before the ball has been thrown in. So the receiver is also a participating player. So he steps in, someone else has to step out.
No, but this one here is
but, okay, play, I've got that one. I got that one. But play this clip. Play this clip. Remember what he said? Okay, first, who's the receiver? There's only one. Who's falling out to make it legal?
But when you walk in, nobody knows.
The walk-in is different. But the walk-in is more. He won't stand still. He will, as the full line out for him, he will go in and he jump. Right? Yeah. That's okay. Guys, just listen up. Listen up quickly. He's quite awake. That's one of the clips. Just go back in the beginning and just look at the contesting as well. Okay? And is their numbers right?
Because you see the other guy is there on the line. Should be very to get in the gap. They have always 5 defending and 4 plus web attack.
So
And the scrum is there outside. It's nearby and it gets wider but not attacking.
well, then the question is, who's putting pressure on the ref? How do you put the pressure on the ref? And who's putting pressure on their players? Okay? So the numbers in the contesting and the defense is too many. Okay? And the walk-in is what the South sort of interpret. The North is not allowed. But I think that's a crucial thing. Because that changed the dynamics of lineouts completely. If that's the case. Okay? Next.
It's always a jump throw at the front. And throw jump at the back.
At the back,
Throw jump.
he can do a throw jump. But it's a fair amount, it's a big lob. You can do it, yeah. But it's a hell of a lob, and it gives the opposition a little bit more time to contest as well. So it's really difficult. If they apply the law, and again, that's a different interpretation, it's very difficult to do it. Okay, just clip number 4 there. Look for me the space. Look for me the spacing. Look at the spacing and the throw. How big must the space be? Okay. How big must the space be? Between 1 meter. So it's 500 on this side and 500 on that side, right? How big is that space, do you think? Just play it again. Maybe 1.5 meters, that, isn't it? Look at the contesting now. Can they get to the ball? Look at the guy jumping for the ball, trying to contest. Look at his body angle. The same one. You think you can ever get there? If that space is too big. Next one. There's a couple are coming up, so you can. I'll back. Go, if there's not a good one, we'll go back. But Topper. Look at this one quickly. What you say now? Why?
Receiver into the line, else out of the line into the receiver position player.
Go. Go again. Go back.
Anyway, 3 or you only 5?
It was 2 and 3, that's it. That's the one. Number 8 for receiver position. And when I ask you to stop.
I don't think it can stop it. I don't know if it can stop it.
Can you stop? Go. Stop. Receiver in. Play in the front. Going out. Carry on. Stop. This is clearly the receiver position. They've changed positions. Which the ball out.
The argument or the conversation we're having, Tucker, is when can that happen?
Doesn't matter when it happens. It can happen before the ball's thrown or after. Because participating players can change positions. Can swap positions
Yeah.
before the ball's thrown.
But-
Even after the ball's thrown.
Because that's a different sort of law. Like I say, that's just a thing that we have to clarify. And that's also you as a coach. You must also know: do you have a Southern Hemisphere ref or you have a Northern Hemisphere ref? Okay. And obviously the team that you played against as well. Next, there's a couple of more Tapa.
So can I do a question?
Clip number 6. Just look at 9. 9. Go again. No change in positions.
Yeah, the change there was a bit late.
Do you just manage it and let it go, or is that?
Well, the referee had to make a decision whether he's going to manage it or penalty, like all other decisions on the field. At the time, you must identify the influence and the unfairness of it, and make a decision whether it will be managed, make him aware of it, or whether you will penalize that particular one. That particular one, I would imagine if that's early in the game, the first one, second one, you probably manage. It looks like 37 minutes into the game, they've probably done it before. It wasn't a problem. It's difficult if you do not see if you're not part of the game for 37 minutes to decide. Do we manage? Do we penalize? It's not as straightforward.
No, just on the unfortunate thing is you don't get many opportunities to contest, and that might change again. But just go next.
The number 9 had an influence Did you went lifting? Was that where the ball was thrown as well towards the back? Where you entered?
Yeah, you can play it again.
Just play it again. Okay, goes towards the back.
Didn't do a great job, but he did lift.
Can you
Can,
I would
imagine the following would look like this. I mean, this discussion's been going on now on the cyberspace over the past few days.
Yeah.
This has been passed all over the world. I would imagine that the decision of the referee in that particular instance will be to free kick. To award it's a free kick. It's a free kick infringement. That's the same problem.
just go to clip 2 quickly?
So you will get the reward for the free kick.
Look at this one quickly. Tell me what you think about this one.
The player that next to the number 4, is he in the line? Very sure he's following his line.
He's a scrum off. He's a receiver. Otherwise, there's 2. You're not allowed to have 2 scrum offs.
The number 4 is in the line. Okay. It's a problem. That can't happen.
Okay. Thanks. We were at clip number.
That's a receiver joint. The difficulty is that it's difficult for a referee to watch when the ball is leaving the hands and when the guy's going into the line. You will always, it's very nice to see in a picture like this, but for a referee practically on the field, if he takes a good position, if he's watching the number 9, he can't see when the ball's thrown.
Yeah.
If he's watching the ball, then he can't see when this guy starts moving to go in.
Yeah,
So, a very difficult thing for the referee to see. Easy to pick up on this. Overhead cameras, wide angle, you can see everything. When the ball leaves, you can even stop to make that decision. During the game, very difficult. I suppose you would start with I've got a problem with your timing. Going in before the ball's thrown. If it happens again, I will have to penalize. Make sure that you go after the ball's thrown, or when you go into the line-out, make sure that you clearly swap position with the player in the line.
No, great. Because I just want to say that changed the dynamics of lineouts completely. That little thing, that little part of the lineout changed the dynamics completely. But again, that's a thing you have to manage as a coach. Okay. Is clip number 7? I think we're 7 now, yeah?
If I may say, and we're talking coaching here, it's worth your while to try it in a game and see what you can get away with as far as that goes.
But
Because the other team is definitely going to do it again. Or it's also going to do it.
yeah.
But once the referee is laid down his standards that he applies for the game, your players should have the ability to adapt to what the referee does.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I said to them a little bit earlier. You only have a certain amount of time to prepare. So if you do that, if you practice that, and suddenly the ref doesn't allow that, half your options are gone. So then you're under huge pressure in the lineout. So that's why it's important that it's being clarified in the beginning of any competition phase, and north and south. Oh. No, but I mean, those are just 4 guys. It's 4 plus 1. It's not a case of we couldn't pick it up. It's,
It's impossible. Humanly, it's just impossible to adjudicate that clearly on it.
okay, fine, thanks. Clip 7.
Can I just say that the assumption is that it's virtually impossible for the receiver to be in a position to participate in the lineup after the ball's thrown. That's the assumption we can make. But if you throw it towards the back, it probably is possible for you to get it. It's impossible maybe on number 2, 4, 5, 6. But if you get towards number 6 and you throw it off, it's probably possible.
Easier, yeah.
So that also needs to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, that's fine, but there's, to me, if you Again, that's the different law interpretations, but we can speak about it later. It's, I think it's a thing to be discussed at a later point. I just want to go through a couple of things. Just next up, yeah, 7. Just look at the two rowing jumpers. You see there? You asked me about the rowing jumper. The guy's coming in. You see the speed there?
Yeah.
Just you'll see it now in the beginning again. But there's two jumpers coming in late, and they can always at the last moment sort of decide when they want to jump in. I just want to give us some clarity. See 5 and 4. There, okay, next. Just check note number 2 and tell me if his throw is straight. How many times did he move? Before the ref could get to him, the ball was gone already. And that's the thing for the referees and the ARs, to be strong enough that if you give a mark, that you keep him over the mark and not shifting off the mark. But again, if you can get away with it, that's what coaches will do. If they can get away with it, they will get away with it. But so just play it again once more. And is the throw straight? Straight in the middle of the two lines. Okay, next. Top another one where the scrum off, the jumper at scrum off supports. Okay. There's no change in positions when the ball leaves the hooker's hands. How would you interpret that one? No, he was still when the ball leaves the hands, he was still in the front.
The answer to this problem is that the law allows the participating players, in other words, the receiver and the player in the lineup, to change places. The only thing to do is, if you go in, you take the place of that player coming out. You can't go in at 6 and the guy number 2 comes out. That's not changing places.
Yeah. Okay, just bear all.
Change places. That's the only way that we can solve this problem. I've been working on this all morning with Paddy and Steve Griffiths and Ed Morrison. I've even asked the same question, that there's some tips. I don't give you tips. I'll show you later on. It's similar to these. The only answer to this is, if the interpretation goes that the receiver can go into that position that this player is falling out. Not going at 6 and the player in front goes out. At the moment it's not, but that's probably our answer to this problem.
Yeah, well, let's just. I'm just going to, because I don't think I'm going to finish my session if I cut it now. But just 10 quickly. Just look at number 2. If he stays in his place. The AR gives the mark. Okay.
But the only thing to that is, it doesn't matter where he stands, it's where the ball goes through. Like if he stands, if there's a mark, if your mark is here, that's your mark, you won't get this, but if the mark's here, and he stands here, it goes through the mark, is that okay?
He throws through the mark.
Yeah.
And he won't throw in straight.
But
Because if you have a technique where you throw like that, I can tell you 90% of the balls are going to be skew. 10. Sorry, 11. Sorry. 11. There, the scrum off jumps in again, but we're just going to run through it quickly, guys. There's not 2 more clips. Okay, after this one.
Do you have a problem with Australia's
lineup? Next one. So it also happened, and again, referees, you must be awake for it. It also happened to us once, and with a different team, is where the guy makes the call in the lineouts while he's making the call in the lineouts. Remember, you'll see there, there's a scrum off, there's still a scrum off. But let me just explain to you. So, what happens is there's a scrum off and a guy making the calls. So he's out of the line, and the scrum off is also out of the line. And while he's making the calls, the lineout takes place in front of both those players. So then, in fact, what you allow is 2 scrum offs, and there's not allowed to be 2 scrum offs. Okay? So it's just, again, for the coaches, you'll be awake for that, and that's kind of illegal tactics, because again, I say illegal in abbreviated commas, but if you can get away with it, your luck. Okay. Last clip. Look at a gap. I think a gap is and the throw. That one probably wasn't too bad. Okay, so thanks very much. Appreciate it. Let's get those lights here quickly. So, coaches, if I pick that up, okay. So what will I do? So like I say, you have to know your position. We're going over and contesting now, okay. So what I'll say to the ref, just give me the mark, okay. Where's the line out? So they go and give you a mark. Then I'll get my loose head to go 500, and they must see that they're 500 away from us. Otherwise, if you close the space, then you can get penalized as well. So your front supporter goes half a meter. The back guy in the line out lines up with your front supporter, and everybody comes in line with him. Then our whole line is 500 away. Okay. Then if they move further than that, then but that's the thing, you have to clear with the ref beforehand. Okay. Now this is the way that you're going to manage it. Otherwise, you'll always get this. And if an AR is not strong enough, and bring that guy back, they go make the gap too big, go that side and throw it in. Like I say, it happened in both hemispheres, not just in the southern hemisphere. It's just the clips that I have at the moment, just for learning purposes. Okay, so and then again, we will most probably have the clarification on the other one before we go into the World Cup. Just quickly on that. Okay. Yes. I don't know. It's going to be. You say we've got some time. We'll break. We'll break at 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
I'll just finish the lineouts quickly and then break, and then I'll come back and just do the kickoffs quickly.
Do you want to do it video, or do you want to go straight to the park?
No, it's just some couple of points I want to but we can just run through it quickly, or we can. Let's see, the 10 minutes if we can do it. Okay. The guys, just contesting. Okay, it's very important that when you go in contesting that you've got set formations. You don't want to have your players run around all the time, okay? So set formations, when you go in and contest, the next step is, obviously you have to count the numbers. You have to write down numbers, otherwise you get penalized, okay? So count the numbers, pick it up, communicate it quickly, and organize your formation that you practiced, okay? And then when then you must look at speed on the ground. Okay. Like I say, that's one of Victor Matfield's strong points, is he can move on the ground quite fast, and he's in the air. He's quite quick as well. Okay. And then obviously you can't just flop in the air and try to be what is lomp? Steph, lomp in English. Lomp. Clumsy. You can't just be clumsy going into the line out, okay? So be nice and strong when you go and contest and see if you can get the ball, okay? And then obviously there's a possibility that you might get the ball, so your sweepers must be awake for that if you get the ball. And then be ready, if you get the ball, then you must obviously be ready for a turnover attack what do you do from a turnover ball? Okay, so it's all things you have to gear for. Okay, just a couple of things.
Are you looking at triggers? Are you coaching your players to be looking at triggers when they contest?
Yeah. But that's, the more you look at lineouts, the more you learn about lineouts. And obviously, your main lineout guy, he must understand what the opposition is going to do. You can't just do a formation and you do all the work and they sit back. All the best contestants, like Victor Matfield, the guys that I worked with, like Paul O'Connell, there's guys that spend some time and look at lineouts and they know the movement, they know the triggers, they look at everything that gives the lineout away. That's what they will look at. Okay? So, but unfortunately it comes with experience and you have to invest. If you want to be a good lineout organizer, you have to invest a huge amount of time in it. Okay? The same with the coaches. If you want to be a forwards coach and a specialist in lineouts, you have to invest a huge amount of time. I can't tell you how many files and stuff I've got and time I spend on lineouts. Okay? But just quickly, what makes lineouts difficult to contest? You know, overthrow, nothing new. Walk-ins, okay, like I showed you. When the space is too big, the one that we also showed you there, okay. Supporters inside and slipping, I think Tapa's got very good clips. I think the referee's got clips of guys slipping on the inside and then obstruct. And then the guys, so they take the contesting pot away and then they just jump in the line. You understand what I mean? I'll ask Tapa maybe at some stage to get this. I think that, you know, that is actually on the, you remember the memory stick? There's some clips with the referees that I saw there, but there's a couple of clips where a guy slips inside and he obstructs so they can't contest. Okay? I say back line, it's just backs, okay, it's not back line. Just the back pot, just go over the 15-meter line, okay? And then kind of the illegal tactics, okay? Things that happened to us before is, you know, I said to you, you walk through the line. So what happens is the guys, as he walks through the line, he starts pushing you. And while you try to sort of get him out of the way, zip, go up and take the ball, okay? So you must always know your position and what sort of tactics or illegal tactics they're up to, okay? Walk in and out, okay? So he's in the line, then he walks in, call a call, and then he goes into another spot, okay? And just walk to the same. Walk to different positions while shouting the numbers. But walk in and out, that's the previous one. You walk in and out, call to the back, okay? And then just jump in a different spot. It's just all sort of tactics that happen. This is just difficult to contest against those. But just quickly practices and then conditioning. The same what you do with the fitness and conditioning of the players. So you do with your lineouts and your scrums, obviously, as well. There's certain just little things that you have to have in place, okay? So your variations, your tactics, your drives. If you were just working, we'll do now a little bit outside, just the individual work, and then in pods, just to get the maximum height. And then you start building your line out. Okay, I'll show you outside, building your line out and just get all the principles through. Okay. And speed on the ground, that's also a thing you have to practice. And maybe your conditioning guy might have 1 or 2 drills where they're also in pods. Just move as quickly as they can. Again, actually, that's also a thing you have to sort of practice all the time is ball delivery. And the non-jumpers, the guys that's not involved in lifting or jumping, they must obviously block. If there's 2 big spaces in the line out, the opposition will just go through and will cut your nine off. Okay? And then if you want to be a pack that drives well, they must be conditioned to do that. So you have to spend some time on that as well. And again, you only have so much time. You've got all these great ideas and great things that you want to do. You only have this amount of time, And you have to, that's a trick actually in a certain way, is what do you want to do to make your team unpredictable, and how do you get it through in a short space of time? Okay. And then, you know, I'm just very glad that they got rid of the the ELVs in terms of the lineouts. I think they took out the 5-man lineout and a 4-man lineout. I think the short lineout's actually out of the equation because I think it's very creative lineouts. And also I get sometimes cheesed off when I think a lineout is maybe because I'm passionate about lineouts, is the views from the television cameras is here at the bottom where you see the hooker and you look down the line like one or two of these clips. There's no beauty in it. I don't know what they find so nice about it, but those clips that you see from the top, I mean, that shows the beauty of a lineout. And sometimes, I know it makes analysis maybe a little bit easier, but I think it takes away a lot of the beauty of the lineout. So whenever there are law interpretations that we just spoke about now in these clips, you as a coach have to see where are the opportunities. Okay? Where are the opportunities and what did I learn from that? Okay. But that's also questions you just have to ask yourself. About 5 minutes for kickoffs. Okay. Kickoff attack. Again, important things. Obviously, you guys will have all of this, okay, because you can have it on your stiffy. Know your opposition, okay. Plan your chase formations. You understand the chase formations? When you chase, so you attack, you kick off onto the opposition, so you chase, so you have to have a chase formation as well, okay? And whenever you do a kickoff, they must obviously know exactly where you want to kick, otherwise half the guys don't chase, the opposition get the ball, they counter, and you're in deep trouble, okay? And then when you get the ball, say if you if you get a turnover from a kickoff, you must also be ready for that. So how do you attack from that? So you must be ready. Backs must be ready. Everybody must be ready in attacking mode and attack immediately. And then also when they kick back, if they catch it and they kick back, you obviously have to have your counter-attack strategy in place. Okay. Again, guys, I don't underestimate your intelligence. It's just to get everybody at the same mind and things that I think is important. It's just my view. There might be much better things, much more different things in the game. Okay, receipts. Also know your opposition and know their formations that they have. Okay. Plan your receiving formations because there's a halfway kickoff and there's a 22 kickoff. Okay. The opposition might have a conventional kickoff, they might have a split kickoff. So you have to be geared for that, okay? And then obviously nominate and attack the ball in the air. We'll do a couple of exercises, I'll show you that on the field, okay? And again, when you get the ball, have a sort of attack strategy in place, okay? And when you kick it downfield, have your cover properly in place and be ready to counter-attack from there if you don't want to kick back again, okay? Depending again the type of game that you want to play and how you see the game at that specific moment and what the laws allow you to do, okay? And then that's exercise, okay? I think everybody you have a very good idea of the kind of players that you have, okay? And that's an exercise that you must do. You have to do it before you go into the next game, in any case. Okay? So you have to do your line-out planning, attacking. Okay? You have to decide, especially the first game, what contesting systems am I going to use in my first game, and how am I going to build that? Okay? If I say line-out planning, attacking is when you attack in their half, defending is when you're in your half, what you want to do there. Okay, that's what I mean by attacking and defending, and then just organize your contesting systems. Kick-off planning, again, well, like I said previously, you have to plan for the receiving and for the chasing. Okay. Hey guys, that's me. It's lineouts and kickoffs theory, and we can go and get some fresh air. Thank you.